Hey, Exoticals, it's your girl back with another Exotical rant. You know what I was just thinking about? You really want to know? I was thinking about destiny swapping and how you can avoid this. And I was thinking about Kanye West, Alexis Pfeiffer, and Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian was supposed to be Alexis Pfeiffer's so-called best friend. I try to avoid these type of titles because of situations like this. Alexis Pfeiffer had been with Kanye West for over 6 years. They were engaged. She had her, like his mother liked her. Everything was going good, but she was also friends with Kim Kardashian. And it just went downhill from there. And all of a sudden, Kim Kardashian is now dating Kanye West and gets pregnant, starts having his kid, and now she's the wife. But before, she was just, a known gold digger. And she was known to be basically like sleeping with multiple pro athletes and other guys that had money in the area. Like it was really funny how she tried to redo her image to kind of mimic Alexis's image, which was a very good image of clean cut girl, very talented, seamstress, fashion designer. But now Kim Kardashian has all those accolades attached to her name. Let's get right into it. Destiny swapping. This is why I tell you, Exoticals, be very careful about being around other mimicking women, copycat, women that are very critical of you, but they claim to be your best friend. They claim they're always there for you, but they always want to know the tea. They want to literally watch you. That's why they're always at your house. That's why they're always volunteering to do things for you, because they can keep eyes on you. They're monitoring spirits, and now they actually like destiny swap with you. See what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. At first, they're monitoring you. They have to monitor you for a while to see what makes you tick, what you like to do with your hair, your style, and then they can mimic it and then destiny swap with you. You have to be careful of this, ladies. This is really serious. Excuse me. It's really serious, and it can really affect your life. And it's really weird. All of a sudden, Kim Kardashian is at Fashion Week when before she dressed like trash, but now she's at Fashion Week. She's trying to sit next to Beyonce. And if you notice in every picture, Beyonce always tries not to sit by her or be at a distance toward her. And she's never really saying much. She's just smiling. If you ever peep Beyonce's game, she's never, ever, even if she's photographed with this woman, she's never talking. She always has backup with her, like i.e. her sister or some other family members with her. When she has to deal with Kim Kardashian, when she had to deal with her, she always had backup with her, and she tried never to really be close to her because she already know what she did to the other, to Alexis. She already knows she is a destiny swapper. She already knows she's a monitoring spirit. And if you ever see pictures of her and Beyonce, you can notice she's just always kind of watching Beyonce, like almost kind of mimicking her in a way, or trying to. Beyonce is really not talkative to her. She's just sitting there and smiling. And after that photo op is gone, she's probably getting the H out of there. But this is what I'm talking about, ladies. Monitoring spirits that become destiny swappers. They want everything you have. They want your man. They want your house. They want to have kids with your man. They want to swap destinies with you. That's why they try to be your so-called best friends. That's why I don't let women come with me and my husband on dates or we got stuff going on. You need to be with your own man. You don't need to be with mine. You need to have your own man, your own transportation, your own shit. I'm not going to let you swap destinies with me. I'm not going to let you have access to my man and his resources. Absolutely not. But a lot of women, especially when you're young, you think people are really like there for you. They're really your friends when really they're monitoring spirits. They're trying to get information about everything about you so they can mimic it. So they, whatever they feel like are flaws, they can perfect that in them and then show them to who they want to be with. And that's exactly what Kim Kardashian did. She is like, she does this. She has done this many times. And until she got Kanye, the big fish. She did this many times with different so-called friends, and they usually were African American girls or like, black girls. She would do this too. So like that's why I don't like have so-called best friends or let women hang around me for no apparent reason. What we doing? You don't need to be at my house. What are we doing? Like you have an activity, oh, me and you can go. Why do you need my husband to come with us? You do not. You do not need to spend time with my husband. You do not need to get to know him because again, where your man at? I have to be like that because I already understand monitoring spirits and destiny swapping. And I know they're trying to infiltrate your spirit, your space, and your mindset. So like if you talk too much, if you share too much, if you have people over in your private and personal spaces too much, all of a sudden they think they know you. They think they have a grip of what they have to do to get what they want from you or from other people around you. It could be they might really just want your man. They might really want your man. And like they'll make it seem like they don't until they got him. They'll wait until like I know she gets on around her cycle, she gets really moody. I know she's gonna start an argument in it with him. I just have to plant the seed because she really trusts me now. Ladies, don't ever let somebody destiny swap with you. Don't ever let somebody come out with your man in you, or you see them out all of a sudden and you're with your man. We're not taking no pictures together. Only pictures that we're taking are with me and my man. Like, we're not doing that. Like, a lot of women be like, oh, I'm secure. It's okay. No. And this happens with a lot of times if they can't swap your life, they'll try to like unalive you. Like in the Selena case, the singer, like the old woman could not destiny swap with her. She didn't have the body, the looks to destiny swap with her. But she was a monitoring spirit. And because she could not destiny swap with her, she unalived her. You see what I'm saying? Like they go to extremes. If their looks, abilities, and like their whatever about them, they cannot literally swap destinies with you because you may be a chosen one. You may be a person that you have the blessing of God on you and they cannot do it. They will try to unalive you. So it gets serious. And I've noticed this a lot with insecure women. They will mimic everything about you. The way you wear your hair, your makeup. They want to know everything about you. Okay, what fashion design? Oh, you make clothes? Oh, what kind of clothes? Like, they want to know the tea on everything. Be very careful of these type of women and men that will do this. But like, they want to know all the tea about your husband, your boyfriend, or whoever. In this case, Kim Kardashian got all the tea about her fiance. And this is what I'm talking about, ladies, like moving in silence. Honestly, if I had got engaged to a guy that was new money, that was making millions to billions of dollars, I would have cut off like literally everybody except for like maybe a couple people of family members. I would not have had a best friend. I would not have had any woman lingering around watching everything we're going through. It's just not a smart idea. And this is why I tell you guys like to test the spirit. A lot of time these women that try to destiny swap with you, they are monitoring spirits. They're watching you. They're constantly around, but for no apparent reason. And they'll try to make you feel like they're around to support you when really they're trying to just get intel. They're just trying to get information on what's going on so they know when to actually try to destiny swap with you. They know when to start up some drama or put things in your head. And that's really... That's why I tell women, like, if you're in a relationship and you're dealing with a man and you want to be with that man and you want to like really, you're benefiting from the situation. He's a good guy. He may have some flaws because we all are flawed people, but he's down for you. Watch your friends, even watch your family members. Like, be very vigilant. Stop sharing everything with everybody. Your so-called best friend. You get in an argument with your boyfriend or your fiance or your husband, and you're going back and telling them. They don't need to know. Like you can't bounce off in there. And a lot of times they're not even married. They're not even married. And you're trying to bounce off information from them, and they've never been in a good relationship. They've always been in turbulent relationships, but you're trying to bounce off advice from them. I would definitely not do that. I would not share my personal, and Beyonce is the queen of not sharing her personal information with the public. And if you notice, every Oprah show she went on, she kept that tight lip with Oprah because she knows Oprah is honestly, I feel like she's a monitoring spirit. And she does definitely monitors people. I don't know what she uses it for, but she definitely will try to size you up. And especially if you're a pretty girl, I notice if you're a pretty black girl, pretty mixed girl, she will try to size you up and tear you down. Hint, hint, Toni Braxton, she tore that girl down so bad on her show. But anyway, ladies, these women that do this, and especially a lot of women that do this, because they get that jealous and envious bug, and they can't help but to try to take you down, a notch. Oh, if you can get that man, I can get. They're in constant competition with you. And I know for a lot of young girls, you're like, that's my best friend. Girl, after 5th grade, let it go. These are just acquaintances, associates. Be cool with them, but be watchful over what they're doing to you or how things happen when you're around them. Every time I'm around them, something odd happens. Every time I'm around them, they always try to humble me. That's the main sign of it. They try to humble. Oh, don't act like that. You need to be more humble. They always have an ideal of how you should be acting. Ladies, be careful of this. I'm telling you, these are monitoring spirits, and a lot of times these are destiny swappers, and they will try to swap it out. Honestly, a lot of times they are practicing a lot of dark magic or whatever. I don't really want to get that deep into it, but they're practicing a lot of dark energy work. And you don't want to be a part of that. These women they have betrayed other women before. That's why they tend not to have a lot of friends around. They may have some family around, but they tend not to have a lot of other women friends around because they've already effed them over before also. So you have to be very cautious of this. And I think Alexis, she seemed like a super sweet girl. And she probably thought she had a genuine friendship with Kim Kardashian. And I don't know why so many black girls like to hang around Kim Kardashian. She F's them over in the end every time. Her or her family members. So I try to I'm just like, why are you guys keep hanging around? You guys made her relevant. A lot of black women made Kim Kardashian relevant because she was not relevant at all. Check out early 2000s. She was not relevant at all. Her or her family, they were actually needing a lot of money. So that's why she really started practicing all this destiny swapping, being a monitoring spirit, because they were in the hole and they needed cash. But ladies, you have to really watch out for this. What can I do to prevent this? Let's go over some things you can do to prevent monitoring spirits and destiny swappers. What can I do? Keep your business private, even from your friend. Your so-called friends or best friends do not need to know every intricate detail of your private business, of your personal business. They don't need to know what's going on in your private, personal relationships with men. They don't need to know it. And I know it sucks, or whatever romantic partner you have, they don't need to know they don't need to know personal details of you guys' relationship. And I think a lot of times, us as women, we naturally want to share, but stop trying to share everything and bounce off ideals from somebody. Instead, be in a place of prayer and meditation, and try to be your source for your wisdom and read books, do research and try to find internal wisdom, and stop sharing this, especially with all these different women. Stop sharing these details about what's going on, how much your man is making, because a lot of women, they're like, damn, I can't get a guy to pay for my Applebee's, and this nigga bought you a house? Oh, hell no. I can ride that thing better than you. That's how they're thinking. While you're thinking that y'all are in a sisterhood, they're thinking how they can one up you. And it's very scary. I've had women around me, and not intentionally, just like I came into contact with, they wanted to know every little piece of information. I had this one older woman, she was claiming to be my mentor. She was just very obsessed with my dating life. And I had to stop sharing stuff with her because I was trying to get married. I don't know what the hell she was trying to do. She was single. She's been single forever. But like, she was in and out of a lot of toxic relationships. But she really wanted to know about my dating life. Every time I dated a new guy, can I see a picture of him? She always wanted to see a picture of the guy. She was always so intrigued that they were taking me to nice restaurants. Oh, what are you doing to get him to take you to a 5-star restaurant? Oh, what you do? What's your secret? What's your bedroom move? And I would be like, what? I would be kind of taken back because I'm like, I'm thinking this lady's like my mentor, a friend, a confidant, and I'm thinking like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just dating. Oh, you must be real special. Like, you must be doing a lot of tricks. I'm like, I haven't even slept with these men. I was just looking at her like, this bitch is crazy. But a lot of times they feel like you have to do something. That's why they want to know all the details. And she was really obsessed with me. After I look back on it, she would always want to come to my apartment to help me organize my things, to just have a watchful eye of everything that I was doing. And I started peeping game really early. I stopped telling her about the guys I was dating, where they were taking me, because she was just really obsessed with it. She was like, oh, my guys won't even take me to get some chicken wings. That's all. He take me to some chicken shack. And I would be like, a chicken shack? Like, and this was a very educated woman. So I was kind of confused. I'm like, why are you going to chicken shacks? You're like 50. Should you be eating all that fried food? No, that's why I gained weight and I'm having health problems. And I'm like, yeah, why don't you just decline if somebody offers to take you to like a fried food place that's cheap? Why don't you just decline? You shouldn't be eating that anyways. Yeah, I was thinking about that, but that's all he offers. And it was really odd, but like, she was really obsessed. Like, even one time we went to she asked me to go to one of her events, and I did go, but like, I was feeling uncomfortable because the guy that she was dating kind of was trying to talk to me. So I ended up calling my SD at the time. And he came and like picked me up because I told him I had Ubered there, and he came pick me up and he hung out with me for a minute just to like ward off her little weirdo. But like, he was like, that dude is cheap as hell. Why didn't he pay for her food? Because my sugar daddy ended up paying for her food as well, because this dude was cheap. He didn't even pay for her food, and my sugar daddy felt bad for her, so he paid for her, and it was really weird. And he was like, do you know these people well? And I'm like, I know her, I don't really know him like that. And he was like, he seems like an asshole. And I'm like, that's the vibe I was getting as well. Long story short, ladies, these people have an agenda. And their agenda is to swap with you. Their agenda is to have the life you have, to have the success you have, to have the man you have. They want that support. So if you have like somebody that has your back, keep them away from your so-called friends. And I learned that a long time ago. So by the time I actually met my hubby, I had already known that. Like, I literally was moving in silence. By the time my so-called friends or associates knew that I was married, we had already been married for like a year or two. We had already moved. Like, they didn't. And then like, one of them asked me, why didn't you tell me anything? I was like, oh girl, it happened so fast. This girl was an associate from work. I didn't really want to tell her she was always in some turbulent relationship, and I didn't want her bad vibes on me. So you don't need all these women around. Bridesmaids, okay, if it's for show, do it. If you just want to have a big show, but I would try to keep as many people out of my personal and private business or life as possible. Because it just does not work out, especially if they need to be with you on a daily basis. That is very suspicious to me. You need to always be in my home. You need to know what's going on with my hubby or my fiance or my boyfriend. You need to know how I'm benefiting from being with him. That is very alarming. And again, ladies, like, a lot of times a lot of young women like to be flashy. The best way to keep, like, I do not suggest being flashy. I do not suggest posting every time your man does something nice for you. Oh, he bought me a diamond necklace. He took me to this nice restaurant. I would not be posting about that. Especially in real time. I would not be posting about like places, what all the stuff my husband or boyfriend or fiance or baby daddy does for me. I would not be posting about that. I would not be sharing with friends. Maybe your mom or somebody you're very close to that is not in competition with you. And you'll know they're not in competition with you because they're not trying to humble you. They're not trying to critique you. They're not trying to know, I'm trying to say the word, intricate details of your relationship with that person or what you guys do on a daily basis or all the things that person does. They're not trying to know that. They're just listening for what you tell them. They're not asking specific questions. They're just listening to what you're telling them. If you're talking about your relationship or something that has happened, they're just listening. They're not trying to get to specific details of the situation because they're not interested in that much. You would know when you can trust somebody. Again, they're not looking for the kind of guy you're looking for. They're usually already married. They're already satisfied in their life. They're not unsatisfied in so many areas that they would take their unsatisfaction out on you. And that's a good thing to look out for. And even in that ugly woman video with Selena, I use that's like talking about Selena's situation, the singer. That woman that unalived her was so jealous of her. She wanted her looks, her beauty. She wanted her body. She wanted her life. She wanted her money. That lady was planning this from jump. And the thing about it is when somebody betrays you, don't get into the spirit of confrontation. A lot of times you need to just move in silence, let the police handle it, let the lawyers handle it, and get that person out of your entourage or whatever, your friend group. Get that person out of your personal spaces or support systems. Get them out. It's nothing. You don't need to confront that person because that's when something bad usually happens, when they get you alone, because you're thinking that it's okay to be alone with them, but they've already betrayed you. It's very unsafe for you to be alone with them. And that's where Selena really messed up at. When I reviewed her, the case with the I don't trust ugly women. That's really why. Because if you don't even take care of yourself, I don't trust you to do anything for me. If you can't even take care of yourself. That's physically, mentally, fashion wise. I don't really trust you to do anything positive for me if you can't do anything positive for yourself. If you can't make your life look like the way you want it, why would I think I need you around me when I'm trying to cultivate the life I want to? I'm trying to cultivate a life of positivity and I'm trying to make it look like the way I want to look. I don't trust you in doing that because you haven't even got your life together. Does that make sense? And it doesn't matter how old these women are. A lot of older women try to infiltrate younger women's lives as like a support system because they are also monitoring spirits and they definitely want to destiny swap with you. Quick story time. And this is really quick, ladies. My brother was dating like a girl and she was like young, like she was like 21. And he was dating this girl and literally they started staying with her aunt. They started renting out a room at her aunt's place, right? Everything was going good, right? Next thing you know, my brother calls me and was like, I got to come over. And I'm like, okay. And like literally he was like, I'm my girlfriend's at work. Her aunt was home. I wasn't bothering her. I was in the room doing some work or whatnot. And then her aunt knocks on the door. So I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm thinking I'm being too loud. Cause he was like, I did have the TV on and stuff. I'm thinking I'm being too loud while I'm working. I was like, I had the TV on. I had some other stuff going on while I'm trying to work. So he said, I turned everything off. And I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disturb you. And then she was like, no, I'm good. She opens the door. This bitch is butt naked. Exactly, ladies. And he was like, what the hell? He was like, I literally just ran out of there. She was trying to like seduce me. And he was like, I wasn't even interested. But just the fact that she would do that, and she's related to my girlfriend, that just shows me how untrustworthy she is. And I'm like, yeah. So it was a big thing. And but when he told me this, I was not surprised. Because a lot of times a woman will see a man, especially a man that's faithful to you, that's doing good by you, and they will want that man for themselves. And this woman was way older than us, like way older than the girl, way older than my brother and me. Like she was way older than us. She was like an old ass woman. And she was like, she's like old enough to be our mother. But she was trying to seduce my brother and knowing that my brother was dating her niece. So you see how distorted these people's mind are. They want what you have. Like if you have a good man, they're like, what do I have to do to get him? Even if they have to like be, they have to be HOEs. They have to be degenerate. They don't care, but they want what you have. And especially if you're staying with other women, like literally keep a closed door. Like literally don't have, if you're staying with somebody, if you're out the house, you need to tell your man, hey, when I leave, we leave together. And I know it's weird to do that. And like you like, I want to trust, I don't want to be seem insecure. It's not insecurity, but when I leave the house, I need you to leave with me. Because you just can't trust other women these days, because a lot of women are very unsatisfied. A lot of people are very unsatisfied. So you just can't trust people these days, and you kind of have to like really protect yourself and your peace. And I suggest if you're living with somebody, you keep a good distance from them about your personal business. And if you and your boyfriend are living with some other, like another family member or something, you really have to keep a watchful eye out, because it's the people that you wouldn't expect that will betray you first. And that's just destiny swapping. She really wanted to be with my brother. She saw how my brother was taking care of her niece. She saw how they were upward mobile. They were staying there stacking money so they can get their own, a way better place. And they thought this was a stepping stone to do so. And it wasn't. She was right there the whole time, monitoring them, watching him, watching to see the influence. And he was like, it's crazy because we had just had an argument before she left. She was right there to step in. And a lot of times these women, they're waiting in heat. They're waiting in the heat. They're waiting for something to happen. They're waiting for you to get in an argument with your man. They're waiting for something to happen because they want to step in. They're like, okay, you got a good man. Why can't I have a good man? I'll just take yours. They don't want to do the work to find their own. They just want to take everything you have. Ladies, 5th grade is over. Watch your own back. Don't let somebody be monitoring you. If you're looking for housing, sometimes it's better to go to student housing. A lot of times you can live in student housing, and it'll be a good thing for you. And you don't even have to be a registered student, but you can live in off-campus student housing. FYI, if you didn't know that, look for that in your area. But ladies, really be watchful of this. Stop thinking everybody's your friend. Stop thinking everybody has good intentions for you. Stop telling all your business and just move in silence. These people are not your friend. They want your light. They want whatever God has shined upon you. That's what they want. They want that good energy, those good vibes. They want like that. They walk in the room and all eyes are on them. They want what you have. And sometimes it's not physical, it's character. Sometimes it's not just how you look. They want your man. They want your baby. Like they want your life. They want to replicate your life. So keep these women out of your house. Keep them away from your personal business. If you meet them in the streets, leave them in the streets. My mom taught me that a long time ago. You meet somebody in the streets, leave them in the streets. That they're for the streets. Like you don't need to be taking people out the streets and taking them to your personal private home. You meet them in the streets, leave them there. And I literally learned that like a long time ago. Like everybody does not need to be a close friend to me. Everybody doesn't need to know what's going on in my relationship and life and all the ups and downs. You just don't need to know it. It's none of your business. And that's the way you have to move. These people are not your friends. They just want to be monitoring you. And after after they become a monitoring spirit and you allow that, they know they're able to destiny swap with you. So be very careful of this, ladies. We are smart girls. As Exoticals, we are beautiful women. And we also garner a lot of hate. We garner a lot of envy and jealousy. So if you're watching this, protect your heart, protect your peace, protect your home, protect yourself. Don't let these women become like such a big part of your life that you can't like live without them. Or every time something happens, you have to call them. The best advice I ever got was somebody saying, this girl on the internet I used to follow on IG, she said, stop calling me, call God. That's what you need to do. Stop calling her, call God. That's what you really need to do. Stop calling other women, telling them all your issues and problems. Everybody has issues and problems. Stop calling them and call on God. Call on some spiritual entity. But stop, write it down in a journal. But stop calling people, telling them all your business. It makes you look weak. I'm just going to tell you, it makes you look like you cannot make a decision without input of everybody else. And one thing I've learned, if I have to call around everybody else to ask them, oh, is this person doing this or this going on? That means I'm already insecure in my situation. If I have to constantly get outside advice, become the source, but get your discernment up, get your spirituality up so you can fight off these four. And you don't have to keep asking people for advice, especially if they're not even, I always said, if you don't want their life, stop getting advice from them. Like if their life is not a life that you would want for yourself, why are you taking advice from this woman or man? If they're not even married, why are you taking advice from them? They don't have any kids. Why are you taking advice from them? They've never been in a long-term relationship. Why are you taking advice from them? They never had a man that would do anything for them like you have. Why are you taking advice from them? I wouldn't. And I've learned that the hard way a lot of times. Like I learned it quickly, but I learned it the hard way. Cause so I was like, why am I keep telling these people my business? And they would always I was like, it's not really helping me. They're not offering me any solutions, but they just want to know the tea. They want to know the drama behind the situation. Don't be entertainment for people, ladies. Don't be entertainment. We're worth way more than being an entertainment source for some people that have nothing going on in their lives, or their life is just boring and they want to hear everything that's going on in yours. You are not the entertainment. Okay? You are not the entertainment. So step out of that trying to ask questions. Oh, what should I do? Okay, if they've never had a successful relationship, why would you ask them? If you have a friend that's known to be a hoe, why would you ask her for a relationship advice? She can't even monitor. She can't even monitor her own life with dignity and respect. She ruined her own reputation. So why would you lean on her for advice, especially when you're dealing with a man? And like a lot of times, these women, they try to make the guy you're dealing with, even they know he's a good guy, they try to point out every flaw because you have told them all of his flaws. They try to point out every one of his flaws to the point where you're like, I don't even know about this relationship, because they put that seed in your head. They planted that seed in your head. You got to be careful to make decisions by yourself. And that's the best advice I ever got. Like just talking to other women. One woman I really trusted, she told me, she said, Exotical rants. Stop trying to get me to make decisions for you. And you have to make these decisions for yourself. She said, you know the intricate details of your situation, the specifics. I don't. Or I'm not in your shoes. So you have to use your discernment, your wisdom, and go by faith and make your decisions. And some will be good, some will be bad, but you have to learn literally learn from other people's mistakes and learn as you go. But you have to be able to make your own decisions. Nobody can make them for you. And that's what I'm telling you girls. Nobody can make these decisions for you. Nobody can. You have to learn how to be discerning. You have to build your faith up, build your spirituality up, and build your discernment and your discernment for people's character up, so you know who's good for you, you know who's not good for you. Stop trying to get other people's advice on your situation, and you analyze your situation. You do some critical thinking, and that's where a lot of people lack. It's men and women, it's critical thinking. Critical thinking. You have to do the critical thinking for your situation. You have to do the critical thinking for your life. You have to analyze these results. You have to look at somebody's actions, their character, their over time, how have they treated you? You have to look at these things. You have to look at everything in its totality and do a critical thinking and diagnostic of your situation, and stop looking for other people to make decisions for you. Stop looking for other people to give you advice about a situation you already know what the business about it is, but you need their advice. You don't need their advice. And a lot of times, especially if they don't have what you have, you do not need to tell them your personal business. You do not need to have them in your business at all like that. They're not a viable source of information, of guidance, for relationships with other people, with men, with yourself. They treat themselves horribly. So why would you ask them for advice? They're just always around because they want to hear the tea. Get that out. Stop trying to be so afraid of being alone, and in your alone time, do the work. And that's the best advice, or best really advice, or the best agenda I had for my life, is I stopped trying to get stuff from outside sources, and I looked within. I looked at the woman in the mirror. I looked at what I wanted for my life, how I wanted it to look. I looked at everything how I wanted it to be, and I realized, hey, everything, if I need to be alone, I'd rather be alone than around a whole bunch of fake people. You get it? I'd rather be alone than to be around people I cannot trust. I'd rather be alone than to be around people I do not know their true character and intentions for me. I'd rather be by myself. Does it get lonely? It will get lonely. Everybody goes through a season of aloneness. It's what you do with that season of aloneness that makes you the person you are meant to be. Like, in that season, are you always complaining? In that season, are you always running after relationships and friendships? In that season, can you sit with yourself and be satisfied? In that season, can you be content with knowing that you're building yourself up? Let me tell you something. During my season when I was alone and I was not dating anybody, I was not entertaining any friends or whatnot, I grew so much. I read my Bible so much. I read spirituality books so much. I read relationship books so much. I read self-help books so much, and not the self-help books nowadays. I read the ones from the 80s, even some 70s, that really had true information, more valid points, and they weren't just rhetoric. But I literally worked on myself, and I used to eat dinner by myself. I used to go walking by myself. I went walking so much, other women in my neighborhood had started walking. And I would see them out and they'd be waving at me because I would go walking after I ate dinner every night. I would do stuff that made me happy. I like to go to the gym. So some nights when I didn't feel like just walking the neighborhood, I went to the gym and I literally had fun working out. I had a ball, but I did stuff I wanted to do. And I didn't have any apologetic. I literally dove into myself, and I watched movies I wanted to watch. I found shows I really liked and gave me inspiration. I read, I eat, loved, prayed. That's what I did. I ate, I loved, and I prayed. I ate what I wanted to eat that was healthy to build myself up. I loved on myself, and I definitely prayed for wisdom, for discernment, and for understanding. And I literally that time in my life changed my life because I was not focused on external validation. I was not focused on friendships. I was not focused on relationships. I was not focused on telling somebody all of my damn business that couldn't even help their own business. I was not focused on that. I was focused on myself. I was not focused on trying to be a great friend, trying to be a great girlfriend, trying to be a great fiance. I wasn't focused on that. And I wasn't wasn't focused on letting other women know everything, all my sad moments in my life. I wasn't like the, what do you call it? I wasn't a bitter Betty, but I also wasn't a sympathetic, Samantha. I wasn't trying to always tell everybody my life story because a lot of people didn't deserve to hear it. And stop letting people come monitoring spirits in your life and you become the woman you want to be. Stop looking. And a lot of times you let monitoring spirits in by not being confident because you always have to ask them for advice and they're not qualified to give advice. They're not qualified in relationship conflict resolution. They're not even married most of the time, or sometimes they're in toxic ass relationships. And like, why are they qualified to give you real time advice when you're going through something? Look, really evaluate the messenger. Really evaluate the messenger. Are they in a relationship they want to be in? Are they in a healthy relationship? Are they are they living the life they want to live? Or are they like you have to really do critical thinking when you're thinking about this, ladies. And I hate to say this, don't trust anybody, but if you're skeptical about everybody, you're more able to evaluate if they're a good fit for your life. If you're just skeptical with everybody and keep people at a distance. And that's why in like some of my videos, I tell you, hey, I don't call a friend a friend. If I just meet you, I would not call you a friend. You're an associate for at least for 3 years. I don't know. I have to really test your character. And a lot of people drop off at the 365 when they can't get information. They can't get money. They can't get resources from you. They drop off after 365 days anyway. So ladies, stop gardening. Stop producing these monitoring spirits by being a guardian that because you're not tending to your own garden, you keep planting other people's seeds and they become a monitoring spirit around you. Stop letting women get into your business so much that they can destiny swap with you or really hurt you to the point of no return, like unaliving you. Like that was their whole thing from the get-go. And I hate this for Alexis Pfeiffer. She's such a beautiful woman, but she was not I don't feel like she was in tune with what was going on in Hollywood or Hollyweird. And a lot of times people you think everybody's your friend, especially people that have never been to California and they come to California, they think everybody's your friend. Everything's so I'll tell you my story about California, but they think everybody's their friend. No, everybody just has that Valley girl accent. Everybody just wants to seem positive because nobody likes bitter Bettys in Cali. Come on, let's just be real. So that is a whole different beast. But ladies, get your shit together and move in silence. Stop telling all your business. Do the internal work. Get your self-confidence up. Get your character up. And get your critical thinking up. And you won't have to worry about monitoring spirits. You don't have to worry about destiny swappers because those bitches don't know your information anyway. Get your mind together. I've seen so many videos with women complaining about, oh, I should have had this life or that life. You should have the life you have. When you're not vigilant about protecting yourself, and you're careless, other people notice that and they will take advantage of that. And it's your fault. And I'm not going to pussyfoot around it. It's your fault when you haven't taken, the steps to really, get into a place of understanding yourself, your abilities, and with relationships you want. You are very vulnerable to outside forces to take over your life, because you haven't got your house in order. Like my mom used to say, get your own house in order. Stop hanging out at everybody else's house, letting people come over your house. Get your house in order. Get your routine down. Get what things that you like to do. Love on yourself. Stop looking for outside sources. They have their own agendas and they will play their own agendas out. Stop putting yourself as a pawn in somebody else's game because they will work that game for their benefit. Okay? So if you're in Hollywood, if you're in Cali, if you're in Houston, you're in Dallas, you're in Miami, you're in Atlanta, you're in Chicago, wherever you're at, these major cities, and you're trying to get the life you deserve and the life that you want, stop looking for outside sources and do the work. And it's hard to do the work. You're going to have some days where you feel lonely, where you feel like, oh, woo is me. Get over it. Get over it. Never keep yourself in a bad mood. And I've learned that just over time. If I wake up feeling bad, I go take a hot shower. I go do my makeup. I do my hair the best way it's going to look that day. And I go do something I love to do. Whether that's walking a trail, working out, whether that's meeting up with a group of people to do yoga, whatever I can find that can lift my spirits, I do that. Whether that's going to get a smoothie, it does not matter. I go do that because I know the spiritual warfare that's out there. And when you're vibrating low, people will take advantage of it. You need to stay on a high vibration. You're going to have ups and downs, but you need to level yourself out. Stay on a positive vibration. You're going to have bad days. It's what you do on those days. Just like when people say it's what you do with the time you have, it's what you do with those down days. It's what you do with that time that you have on those down days. On those days you don't feel like yourself, what do you do for yourself? Do you love on yourself, or are you looking for everybody else to love on you? One thing my mom taught me, nobody will treat you better than you treat yourself. If you don't treat yourself good, nobody's going to treat you good, okay? Nobody's going to treat you better than you treat yourself. And that's just fact. And as young women, we have to get out of that mindset. Somebody has to do the work for me. Somebody has to be nice to me. Be nice to yourself. That's the best advice I can give you. Stop telling all your business. Keep your mouth closed and keep your legs closed. That's the best advice I can give you. Stop telling everybody that you've been with, everybody that you didn't stop telling all of these personal things to so-called best friends. These bitches aren't your friends. I'm going to be honest with you. Most of the times they're not. Okay? They're not your friends. Keep your mouth shut. Stop telling all your business to men and women. And a lot of women tell all their business to men, and that's why they have crappy relationships. Because they told him, oh, I've been done wrong by 5 different guys. Now he thinks you're stupid. So, ladies, stay away from these monitoring spirits. Stop giving people information that they can destiny swap with or really hurt you with. And carry on like a lady, quietly, intelligently, and swiftly. And don't share your plans. If you want to share your plans, write it down in your journal and put it in a safe spot that nobody will look. Or keep it with you. But stop giving out free information about you, about how you move, how you work, how you deal with things. These people are not your friends, but Exotical Rants is. So ladies, in the comments, let me know how you feel. Let me know any information I left out. And let me know what you feel about this Kanye West and Alexis Pfeiffer situation. Years later, what is your take on that situation? Comment, and let's get a conversation started, ladies. Like and subscribe. This is your girl back with another Exotical Rant. Bye.